Jeff, what's going on, man?
Hey, Brian.
I see you over in Freak Speak Studios live.
Oh, yeah, today is show day.
There you go. Well, we've been talking a lot in the past of our live things like this about Karbolyn, and something that popped back up, and I know we're going to bring this back out again, is the old kind of an ad campaign we had about Karbolyn where we said OutLast, OutMuscle, OutPerform. That's kind of the big three of
Oh,
I guess,
yeah.
why people like Karbolyn, and they become what we've always called a Karbolyn addict. Now, this is one of those products that it doesn't have stimulants in it necessarily, in the base product.
Yep.
So you're not addicted for that reason, but I've seen over and over and over again that people who use this product consistently do become addicted. Number one, it tastes great, but just the
Yep.
results are getting the pumps, the energy, natural energy, not stimulant energy,
Yeah.
recovery, all that. Why do you think people can outlast, outmuscle, and outperform on this product? Like, why did you make it to begin with?
Well, most of the stuff I've developed, I've said this before, is really out of selfishness. And Karbolyn was one of those products. I've been training, man, a long time. I started training in seventh grade, which I'm not going to tell you what year that was. That was a long, long time ago. So I've been an athlete, the majority of my life, and playing a lot of different sports, weight training since seventh grade. I've always looked to how I can fuel my body. And one of the things that I always had an issue with is, what do you take before training? What do you take before a game?
Right.
I had to rely on, when I was a bodybuilder, I would, before a workout, I would have 2 pieces of sourdough toast and I would mash a banana on there. I'd train at 4 a.m, but really, man, I remember just running out of gas and then halfway eating a banana. And what I realized, what I was doing was replenishing glycogen stores. So I thought, there's got to be a way to develop something that would replenish glycogen stores, yet not be a sugar. Because we know you can drink sugar, Kool-Aid, or, sugar sports drinks, Gatorade, or whatever, and replenish glycogen stores, but 15 minutes, you crash.
Right.
Talk about counterproductive. So really, I started working on Karbolyn for myself because I was still training, still wanted to outdo all the young kids in the gym. And as you know, I then gave you some, and we both really became addicts. And I think you got to think of the addict. It isn't the fact that you're addicted like you would be to a drug. It's
Right.
like I eat egg whites every morning, and I have for the last 30 or 40 years because it works. There's no need for me to change. So am I an egg addict? Yes. Do I love farm-grown eggs that I get locally? Yes. Why? Because they taste better. They're healthier. I know where they come from. Karbolyn is the same way. Can I live without it? Yeah, but why? It works so well. Don't need to change. Don't need to try the latest, greatest hype. It's something that will help you outperform, outmuscle, outgain, the whole thing.
Right.
It's all about gaining the edge.
Well, so what are some, we can talk about all this all day, the science behind all that, but at the end of the day, what people care about is just strictly results. I know a story I can share, but what's the feedback you typically get on people that use this, or they've tried something else and they almost come back?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say, again, us as consumers, typically we try a lot of things until we find what works. If you shoot, you go through a lot of ammo. Once you find the ammo you like, you don't go back to cheap stuff.
Right.
Same thing with clothes, food. Once you find something that works. So I find that people who try Karbolyn never leave. People who try a lot of other different things to fuel themselves, continually shop, continue to look for something different. But once you find Karbolyn, I mean, there is no equal. There isn't anything like it. It's really in its own category by itself. You want to replenish glycogen stores, 5 minutes, use Karbolyn. Glycogen is sugar. This is what the muscles burn for fuel. This is what gives you that explosion out of the blocks. This is what helps you jump higher, run faster. This is what gives you better muscle pumps. Right down to people that fail to realize is when you are done training, exercising, running, whatever, a game, you have depleted your glycogen stores. The faster you can replenish them, the quicker you're going to recover. and for athletes, they want to be able to start all over again the next day. And you look at some athletes who train 8 hours a day, like, boxers and, Olympic athletes, gymnastics and such. My gosh, I mean, how do you feel yourself? Well, you drink Karbolyn all day long. You can drink it after. It's not going to keep you up. I mean, again, we talked about, our last show, how versatile it is. But again, it really is the perfect food for fueling yourself. And again, if you fuel, depending on what your goals are, if your goals are to put on muscle, you're going to have more energy to continue to train. If it's weight loss, you're going to have more energy to continue to burn fat. And keep in mind, Karbolyn, being a carbohydrate, is like kindling on a fire. You can't burn that log with a match, which is energy, no more than you can just go out and burn a bunch of fat with energy. You got to get some kindling under there. So you got the energy to do some cardio, to walk, to run, or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and my favorite story is there's a video, I think it's still out, I'll have to find it. It's on YouTube. We made of a local guy here in Bakersfield. It was back, we met him back when CrossFit was first really catching on. And remember, the diet craze at that time, if you were a CrossFitter, was paleo.
Right.
Well, that's moderate to low carbs. And he was just dead set. That's how you ate. We finally somehow got through to him and had him try Karbolyn. And I mean, we're talking about a matter of months. He came back and he said, wow, I didn't realize how undernourished I guess I was. He goes, I'm telling you, this sounds like hype. He says, I put 100 pounds on my deadlift. I mean, he was sold. He was so blown away by how he felt and what he was able to produce, because that's a very endurance/power based sport.
Oh yeah. Well, you look at, me today as an aging athlete, I don't do near what I did when I was young. You got to fuel the brain. The brain needs glycogen. Guess what I'll take before I go into the lab when I'm really working on something integral? I got a lot of mathematics to figure out. I only do a half a scoop because I don't need, the full 50 grams, but I'll do 25 grams. And again, it makes me mentally alert. I'm able to think better. I do this before I go and do lectures. I speak. Again, the days of taking caffeine, caffeine doesn't help you think or perform better. It's kind of an artificial high.
Right.
But so for you business people, you moms, you're running around with all these kids, you're out of energy, man, a little bit of Karbolyn during the day, you're going to find is going to make your life so much easier.
Well, I think they'll all find, just like we say, once you try it, you're not going to not use it. You're not going to switch to something else because it was cheaper or had better marketing or whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you or I say. It's try it, and the results will speak for themselves. I don't know how else to say it other than that.
Grab you a sample, man. Go to where can they get free samples if they want to try it?
Just go to allamericansups.com. We have a free sample kit there. We just ask people to pay the shipping, but in that kit, it's a bunch of different products, but it does have Karbolyn also.
And if that's too complex for you, send me an email, drj@allamph.com, or go find me on social media. I got tons of samples. I really encourage people to try before they buy. I always say, coming from Montana, you would never buy a horse before you rode it. The same way you would never just buy a car on the internet and never try it.
Sure.
Drive it, take it for a test ride. And Karbolyn is one of those things. We really like people to give it a try so that you can see, don't take my word for it, that it works. Try it for yourself, and you'll find out, like, I don't know, millions of other people, I don't know how many people have used Karbolyn over the years. I'm sure it's millions.
Yeah.
That it does work. And one dose. So one sample, one workout, one afternoon, one business meeting, you will become a Karbolyn addict, guaranteed.
Yeah. Well, that's a great spot to go ahead and shut this down, because I know you're busy and you got other videos and things, but I just want to pop in here with you.
All right.
Live, so we could talk to the peeps out there and let them know a little more about the ins and outs of Karbolyn, which we've talked about over the past few times we've done this. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you get going, and appreciate it. If anyone does want a sample, like I said, get that free sample kit, hit up Dr. Jeff via email, and you will see what we're talking about. So on that note, I think we need to go ahead and get out of here.